Hello folks, Bulletproof here, modern time. This time around, on the left side of your screen, that's Jeskai counter skies. I don't know how else to better name it so that it will be descriptive enough, but I'll explain it a little bit later, in a moment. And on the right, that's your standard build of Barrel's Gift Storm, modern. Well, think kind of like very basic build. I think instead of Fought Scour and Depths, Pure for Depths, I have a couple of Faces lootings in here. My sideboard is not super optimized yet, and it's a work in progress. I think during this match you'd see me actually change a sideboard's Swan Songs for Spell Pierce, but everybody's been playing these spells. Okay, so basically the deck on the left is, imagine you're playing something in the style of Jeskai Guy's Tempo Flash deck, but instead of a lot of stuff, you have a bunch of counter birds. So another potential name for this deck. So that's what we see here. That's Judge Familiar, yeah, on turn 1. I didn't have a 1-drop here, which is disappointing. One good argument to actually play Foot Scours, not only it feeds your Past in Flames, but also gives you something to do on turn 1, because you have a bunch of 2-drops. But Pure for Depths, yeah, allows you to actually dig for Past or Gifts or whatever, and that's quite important, I should say. Also helps you to dig for sideboard cards too, like helps you to try to find that Blood Moon after sideboard, stuff like that. So my turn 2 was just to Baral, Chief of Expertise or whatever his full name is. He swung with the Familiar, and now turn 2, really weird card that I hope he's gonna cut one day, but probably wouldn't. It's some it's a basically 2-mana 1/1 that ponders, sort of. Should rather say index, because he doesn't get to draw anything, he just rearranges his top decks, and that's my problem with the card. And Spellstutter Sprite should definitely be in the slot of this thing, in here. He should just rather play something like Serum Visions instead of just running like bad cards, because Vision scries and lets you draw, and then okay, so my turn 3 was basically Metamorphose into Gifts. I'm not really going off here, but I'm kind of like, setting up possibly for next turn. I've been also telling to him to play Runechanter Spike, because then I could see those very weird 1/1s being in the deck, because then with the Pike it's actually a real force. So Gift's definitely taking Metamorphose, because it's like ritual plus mana with the Baral in play. Taking Grab Shot because, well, not only is like your major win condition, but it also clears up the board from all those weird 1/1s. So this turn I've been playing around his Familiar that's been basically struggling my mana. Okay, take a ritual, so pretty standard gifts setup, I should say. So shot and passed into my graveyard. That's okay. No, shot and passed into my hand, but ritual and Marthos into my graveyard. That's probably correct to do it like this, but I'm not really that sure. He probably should put past into my graveyard and just, and also probably the same for Grape Shot. I think I would have gone other way around. Because I needed to get rid of that Familiar so that next turn I could pass it and try to actually go off. So cast Shot here to clear up his stuff. He definitely should have gone like other way around, I think. Just give me more foes and ritual. Because then that's one last, you know, activation of past, let's say. So I will be able only to flash it back. And then if you're creature deck full of 1/1s, then why give Grape Shot to my hand? That's also really weird. I'm not hellbent yet, but yeah. So he didn't play anything. I just attacked with Baral and played a tap Steam Dance, and that's about it. Can't quite see here what he has in his hand, but oh well. He's fetching up. He's already down to 14. That's relevant because that means I'll have to, set up Grape Shot for much less. So yeah, if he would be at higher life, then there's maybe a chance I wouldn't be able to find enough spells. He takes 2 here with the Shocklands. Casts a Squadron Hawk, which is fine in this deck for sure. So he's waiting for my permission. I decided to remand the Hawk because then that kind of forces him to tap out if he wants to actually, progress the board, but I don't think he can afford to do that because, well, once I go off, that's about it. And because he didn't kill my Baral after that remand, it probably means that he doesn't have removal in hand. Because I would have gone for a Helix here, actually. Because keeping this Baral alive is not a good idea. He could have like a solid counter here, not just the creature-based one, but actual counter. But I don't know. I don't think his deck runs like mana leaks and such. And I think it should. I think Remand actually belongs to his deck. Okay, here's a ritual, so let's see what he's gonna do about it. Should have probably tapped in basic mounting for this. Okay, here's the what was that? Is it charm for what? Like pay extra 2 or something? I think that was the point. But I have another remand that helps me to dig deeper and also saves me 1 mana basically. So I'm trying to go off maybe, so it's not certain. I'm not sure whether this was the game that I messed up. I don't think it was. But I must warn you, I think I messed up at least 1 game here. Because even though I've been playing this deck with Rites of Flames, then with Sitting Songs, then without any of that, and then with Pyromancer Ascension, and now this build for a while, but still, maybe it's not my style of deck, but unfortunately for me, I guess I enjoy playing these kinds of decks, and I still do make mistakes with them, which the kind of mistakes that I shouldn't. Okay, so there is what? I think I flashbacked past here. Oh no, I think I cast past from hand. Yeah. So I think this is gonna be enough because yeah, I've used up and milled enough of rituals and things like that. So now it's all technicalities. So yeah. Don't remember exactly what's the storm count right here. It's not enough yet, but I think it's kind of all just technical at this point. He's just at 12. Attacking with Baral so means that I just need to go up to 11 spells here. Yeah, basically he casts Irrelevant Threat that I managed to remand, and then he casted a Charm for which I could have just paid 2 more and just go off next turn. Okay, flashing back gifts here just to find more gas. So I think that's very easy from here. Just get more rituals and nightmare foes and stuff like that. Because there's already grape shot in there. So yeah, I think he splits package from gifts rather silly in a rather silly way. He could have done better. Then, well, it's all a matter of his own deck. So he's gonna bring in Creep, Sneak Gates, a Flash Freeze, a Cage, another Charm. Um, then the Engineered Explosives for the empty tokens. I'm thinking about Bolts and Angers, but then I end up actually not bringing in Bolts because, well, Anger is kind of enough. I don't have to like kill everything, and a lot of his stuff is actually not that impactful or significant. Bring in Repeal and a Coin Truth just for stuff like Crypt and Cage and maybe sometimes explosives. Bring in Spell Pierce. Right, so yeah, I suppose in the other match or in the test games, I already switched Swan Songs into Spell Pierce. Perhaps that was the thing. Yeah, I guess it was the day before we actually recorded. We had a few test games. And yeah, bringing in one extra empty the words, I think. Just because if he gets a crypt going, or cage, and then I don't draw an answer fast, I should much rather go with the goblins. Because his deck is normally not so good at, pressuring me that high. He takes out some weird flyers he likes. I think that's the free mana free one that detains. And then he takes out Squadron Hawks. Like, yeah, he tries to defend this deck to me a lot of the time, but I just don't get it. I mean, I could see him being on the kind of counter birds kind of stuff. I do like that he plays Mantis Rider in this deck. That's a card that actually is reasonable for modern. But then he doesn't play Delvers or Geists really. I do like the counter birds. I can understand Squadron Hawk in the constant context of, uh, Rune Chanter Spike or some swords, things like that. But just like this, I think it's terrible. He also plays other really weird cards that somehow still work for him, but those they work in those situations where I just don't draw anything, and then that spot pretty much any pressure will work, like even heal giants or anything like that. So it didn't have to be like those particular guys. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not sure who started the first game, but the point here is that even though we're playing best of three, but we're changing who starts first and who goes second because there are so many games and so on, and there have been unrecorded games too. So yeah, he has the Muslim Wonder. So I like that he has plays out of that and plays out of the familiar. There, those cards compared to standard are actually quite relevant in modern. They're all those bolts and discard spells and combo decks and so on. And ramp, I mean Valakut decks. My turn one was just a sleight of hand. I don't remember what I digged for. Now that he plays the stupid oval. I don't know, I feel like a simple Serum Visions would be better. If he wants to play ovals and hogs, then like, come on, you need to play some equipments. And of course, Pike is probably the better one for this deck, with decent amount of spells in it. Or just play freaking Delvers. No, has to be some weird creatures. I know it sounds like I'm getting like salty about his deck building. But on the other hand, like he's a good buddy of mine, but I don't know. I think people should kind of give up and don't get super attached to various pet cards. I don't mind people playing cards like this in otherwise decent modern decks, but then when they bring this kind of decks to tournaments and actually think of this deck seriously, it's kind of bugging me. I didn't have a 2-drop, which is sort of bad considering that he's basically uh, pushing with so many flyers. So the reason why in combats I cast this Metamorphose is because I wanted to, bail out a activation on Wonder or the Familiar, and then I had a Echoing Truth, so kind of wanted just to, slow him down a bit, or maybe bail out some of the birds to be sacrificed, like to counter those things. I'm not sure if I should have gone for this line of plays here, but beating Metamorphose is fun, while just wasting kind of a control here is maybe not that fun. Trying to basically find Anger of the Gods here. There's a chance I already have it in my hand by now, but yeah, he can easily counter it. And now there's Wonder in double Familiar, so this is like a nightmare scenario for Storm to face a bunch of like creatures. Well, they're not big though, but they basically slow you down quite a lot. And I did manage to Purdue into a bunch of lands in this game, but as you see, like I'm already at 15, and I just needed to find Anger here, a sap. And probably cast it at the minimum on turn 5, like with 5 lands in play, so that he will have to use 3 birds to counter it. So here's a looting, just trying to find, I guess, extra lands, because I think, if I'm correct, I already had Anger in my hand by that point. So I'm trying to survive and actually resolve stuff, but at the same time I'm also trying to set up my turns for the whole game too. It's kinda hard, considering when like, it's not just cantrips, but it's looting. It's kinda hard to decide what to keep in this kind of situation. Yeah, sorry that I had to switch it to another app for the life totals here. Just my phone was discharging and it was nowhere near the socket. Let's just say that the phone charge USB cables are usually not that long. But yeah, I think you should be able to see my life total, and that's mostly what matters in this matchup. Number 4, so I'm down to 11. So here's the anger, I believe. That might just get like countered somehow. Oh yeah. And here's the sideboard at negate coming into the picture. Buying him much more time. Okay, with negate on the stack, I'm trying to cast Metamorphose because, like, why not? That might hit the bird. Yeah, so that's exactly what happens. I think I would have let this Metamorphose result here. Okay, it draws me a card, but I probably won't be able to play anything important this turn. All my creatures in the deck just don't fly, so it doesn't matter for his clock. That's Baral. Passing the turn, because I just can't really get through all the counter birds. It might be also light on action. This is definitely gonna get countered, but this means I'll take less damage as well. I think I'm at 8 before this combat damage. Okay, so gifts get countered, and I'm falling down to 6, which is fine, but then again, he does have at least Helix in the deck. Maybe Bolts as well. Though I don't remember actually seeing them from that deck. Might be only Helix, which should be really strange. And also, don't think he even plays Path. I think he has like Condemns in the sideboard or something like that. I'm not sure if actually, you know, siding in Paths would actually be relevant, or, well, definitely not Condemns, of course. I do have Baral and the Electromancer, but is that actually reasonable? He has one counterboat here. I'm at 6, however. Casting the Ritual, because I think I have Past in my hand. And yeah, if this resolves, then I actually probably have enough to kind of like try to go off. Spray Impulse spell number 1. Casting Gifts. There will be, what is it? No mana in pool, I believe. No, there will be 1 red in pool, right? And 3 more from the lands. Then whatever rituals I have, like in my graveyard at this point, including the one I've cast right now. Easy Charm, eh? For digging, actually. Because he doesn't have Lethal yet, and if he just chooses to make me pay 2 more, this means the gifts will resolve, and then I might set up for next turn. Gifts resolved, which is kinda crazy. Even Mind Sensor is actually pretty cool in this matchup. There is a chance that he actually has it main deck. I think it is main deck in his weird build. Okay, Grape Shot and something in the graveyard, I forgot what it was. Probably Manmarfos. And two rituals to my hand, which is just what I needed, because I think I had Past in my hand as the last card. So Ritual, la di da di da, upping the storm count. I have a shot in the graveyard. The Manmarfos, well, I can try to go for it. But I guess at this point I'm just counting like what will happen if I, um, you know, if I passed. Still had, I think, some mana in pull. And here's a flash freeze for Past in Flames, which is, I suppose, fine because I can flash back at next turn. I think I had like 2 left in pull. That amounts to 5. Then if I flash back the past on 4, I only have 1 left, so I can't really go off through the Wanderer in play. That means I just have to pass the turn and try next turn. I might not get to the next turn, but I just can't go off here. I would be able to if not for the Wanderer that's force spiking me, in theory. So yeah, I have to pass the turn here. I just can't, like... I should have attacked here though. On the other hand, it doesn't really matter all that much. And I think he was kinda tapped out. Well, if past resolves next turn, then come on. Should be enough. Unless he draws another hard counter. He does have Vendilion Click in his deck, by the way, so attacking with Baral into untapped mana is actually not that safe. And here is a Merlin Haunt, converting all his dead familiars and wanderers into more meat. He's going to use it now, I don't know why. Oh yeah, Merlin Hand actually is pretty cool because it synergizes with the Wanderer. Because it makes it, you know, 2 attack and so on. And now here is the weird card from Origins, I believe. He puts me down to 2 of this attack. So I was at 6, Wanderer becomes... wait. Oh no, he didn't actually use Mortal Hot, he tapped the mana to cast this 4-drop. That's just a 2-free flyer that pumps other flyers, and this thing has flash. And I'm not sure if it's Spirits as well, so he dealt 4 damage here. Also Wonder here means that I have to pay 2 if I want to flashback past and actually go off. I see your visions here. Without realizing how much I'll have to pay for the Wanderer. I show a fetchland that I can't really, crack because budgeted mana base, so I can't, get a... I have only 2 islands and I should play 3 instead of a mountain here. I don't know why most builds play a basic mountain. It's kind of weird. So I scoop, not only because I can't fetch, but because I have to pay 2 extra. Okay guys, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe or check the links in the description below. Until the next sale, goodbye.